We might have been. We'll see.
It'll all come out anyway.
Exactly. We are live.
Hey!
Good evening, world. Good evening, Alicia and Jordan. How we doing?
Wonderfully. How are you?
So good.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Uh,
How about that show,
ready to-
huh?
we're ready to talk about the show, baby.
Yeah.
We got
Oh, we're
This-
gonna dive right in.
I mean, well, we
Yeah.
don't have to.
Oh, I'm down for it.
let's
What
do
else-
something
Not a
else.
bad-
What else do you guys like?
Alicia, what's your favorite thing?
That's my favorite
My
question.
favorite thing ever. Ooh, that's a great question. My favorite thing ever. I'd probably have to go. Well, it's not a thing. That's my little baby doggy. He's not a
Yeah,
thing, but
that's-
I always
That's a thing.
answer. Nah, he's a human in my eyes. But we'll go with Ollie, Oliver Queen, my little baby boy,
love
my
it.
dog.
I love it.
Favorite thing.
Speaking
All
of
right, now we
dogs,
can talk wrestling.
yeah, speaking of dogs, Sammy Guevara versus John Moxley opened the show in the
Great transition.
Thank you so much. In the semi-final match for the AEW World Championship next week at Arthur Ashe. Hey, what's up, Ben Lampert? What's up, David Lopez? What do we think of this, huh? After Sammy Guevara's "Where Are My 5 Stars" promo that shocked the world,
Swept the nation.
swept the world today online.
Who wants to
Alicia.
start on this one? Shall I?
You go.
Okay.
I think it's
shall.
you. I think it's you.
All right, let's go ahead. This one was interesting for me. There were a few parts where it was very noticeable that there were some weirdly kind of weak punches and blows, and then there were a few hits that did look a little gnarly, you know, like the lariat into the Spanish fly.
Oh, that was
anytime you
awesome.
can combo, anytime you can combo those two moves, I'm like, that's very slick. I did not like the interference. I did not like when the girls came out and they had that bullshit distraction, especially when it's something for the title. I didn't like that very much. So that kind of threw me a little bit, but
Sure.
it was an all right match. Nothing stood out to me that was crazy. Nothing was awful. I was kind of just going with it the whole way.
I mean, you could expect some shenanigans with Sammy and gang
Of course.
involved. Interestingly, no shenanigans with Jericho later, but we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that.
I
I was pro the shenanigans mostly for the post tweet with Renee yelling at Ty and then Bryce Rensburg going, wait, what? What happened? What did I miss?
really
love-
like that. Was a nice detail.
That's great.
Like Moxley
Super
after
funny.
the match to Bryce was like, "Yo, she kicked me in the balls. Like, where were you?"
Yeah.
And Bryce was like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry, man. I didn't see it. I want to see more of that." Like, why
Totally.
would you not be mad at the referee in those scenarios? So that was a nice little
It's
detail.
true. You
Yeah.
never do see that half the time, right? And if they're the ones really calling the shots and you're that pissed because you had the chance at a title, like why wouldn't
I'd be
you
like,
go up to
dude,
the
you almost
referee
ruined my
afterwards?
life.
Right?
Like
It does add, that
if this
slight
is a
level of
shoot, if this is a
realism.
shoot, and this is like if I have the title, I'm making more money, and the referee is at fault.
Yeah, no, screw that.
That referee is paying me out of his fucking own pocket.
Yeah.
Sammy Guevara. He's such a little stinker, but and then he does something, and I was talking to Bo, friend of the show, about this earlier. That like Sammy does something every match where you go, okay, well that was fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like that, I've never seen anyone do that before. So you got to
Yes.
give it to him there. He's a little fuck.
Absolutely.
But he's
Nah,
supposed to be, you know?
He comes up with so much unique shit. I remember seeing that, especially like my first real introduction to him was back in Lucha Underground days. I was like, who is this kid like doing all these unique moves I've never seen before? And the
Yeah.
fact he can still implement them and he still has that ingenuity too, even in the mainstream, like it's very cool to see.
He's a scientist.
Wrestling
For sure.
scientist.
He's a little fucker. But that's, he's a scientist. So
He's good. Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, he's nothing new. How many little fuckers are out there who are insane in the ring?
a lot.
Little fucker,
Lots of
insane
little
wrestler.
fuckers.
But
is a tried, a tested, and proven
it's
gimmick.
true. With the amount of, like, he has more real heat than any of those people, though.
Totally.
And it's a heat that you can't pay money for. He did that himself.
Oh
He
no,
did
amongst
that-
fans, amongst colleagues, like it's phenomenal how much
he
heat
is
that guy has.
Burning alive with heat. And
He's getting it from his personality and his Doug the cartoon haircut.
Crazy.
Like it's just
What's Roger Klitz?
got Roger Klotz.
Roger Klitz?
Roger Klitz.
Oh wow.
Roger Klitz from Doug. He's got the same haircut as Roger Klitz.
No, he totally does.
I like.
And-
I'm gonna have to search this up afterwards.
Don't search
You don't
Roger Klitz. You're not gonna find.
I'm not,
anything.
not that.
You're gonna find a version that
Yeah.
you don't want to see.
Yeah. Starring
We'll avoid it.
Doug. What's Doug's last name in the show?
Funny.
Yeah, it'll be Doug Cummy or something. You don't want any
Oh,
of that.
no.
I liked William Regal asking if he'd be canceled for calling them harlots. That was.
Hilarious.
It was almost like a dig at JR, who just can't not say Jezebel. You know,
It's so true though. Anytime he opens his mouth, I'm just waiting for the next thing to come out where I'm like, oh god, I can't believe you went there.
during
I
women's
didn't
matches,
realize
he's
that.
like Jezebel. Oh fuck! Finally, thank you God.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
It was very. It was also just he said it so politely that it didn't even feel near an insult.
No, it was
Right.
it
You
was
think that
like
I-
it was like you know what, JR, they kind of are harlots. William Regal, you're onto something.
Dude, would it be rude of me to point out the shrews in the ringside or whatever? Like hilarious.
Shakespearean misogyny. You know.
At its
100%.
finest.
Yeah, it is. Okay, we meet the Firm next. Stokely Hathaway's Stable for Hire.
And another like flawless MJF promo. I hate that guy for how damn good he is. We
He's
talk about it every
perfect.
week, anytime he's on the microphone, but like it was just so good. And then I don't know how he gets away with things, like just being so blunt, telling everyone they're pieces of shit. That fat boy comment, like that is someone who's a perfect example where he's pushed it so far, like he can't get canceled.
Yeah.
And it's genius.
People want
So,
it because
anyway.
he's done it to this
Yes.
extent now, and they're like, "Come on, be meaner. We want the real show."
Yeah.
So
I've literally been at conventions signing beside him where he charges people, or people charge him rather, to like roast him, and it's fascinating. I'm like, this is great. This is
Wow.
genius. So clever.
He's got something there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was perfect. And then
Yeah.
we met the Firm, the rest of the group. Interesting. The we go our separate ways aspect is really interesting. I'm curious to see what that means.
I think it feels like it's preemptive to say that like they are not coming out together all the time. You are not going to see them as a stable all the time, but
which
they
is a
are
good move
connected.
considering
They're,
the
they're
really smart
associated.
the criticisms are like, oh my god, so many groups, which is silly because New Japan is like
only
only
groups.
groups.
All factions.
Everybody's
if
got
you're
bunch
in a
of
group.
friends.
Yeah.
The only thing that
It's like
kind
Harry
of,
Potter over there.
It
That's
truly
so
is.
good. My only little thing I nitpick with this is you can really tell with certain wrestling companies where there's a lot of talent and they don't exactly know what to do with them. So they're like, oh, cool, we have all these people who are kind of floaters right now. Maybe they're just a mishmash. We don't really know what to do with them storyline wise. We're just going to throw them all together in a faction and try to make it work. And this is definitely what this feels like. And that's my only thing with it, where I'm kind of like,
It does. But it also is kind of like the perfect group of guys. You know, it's good. You got the monster.
Mm-hmm.
You got the technical young fella. You got the established tag team. And you've got the like second in command star type guy. So
right.
everything is there recipe wise. It makes sense. But yeah, you could argue that any group, even the Blackpool Combat Club, is like, what are we doing with Wheeler Yuta? I don't know. Put him there. It's not quite like the Trust Busters. The Trust Busters is like, I have no fucking clue what to do with these guys.
At least they're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah.
I can see what they're trying to do. They don't quite have me yet, but we'll see.
Sure.
I think-
and they're going their separate ways, so maybe they don't need to get you. You know, they don't need to get us as a group. That was the point.
They have established that they sometimes are a group, and that by saying that you're not going to see them all the time, I think that that's a great way to get ahead of just like, we haven't seen the Firm do anything
Right.
in like 3 months.
So
like,
true.
The Pinnacle.
I
They don't want another
Yeah.
Pinnacle, essentially.
they don't want that, but also we Alicia, you brought up the bloated roster or whatever. I think we're seeing the benefits of hiring a lot of people, especially right now, because it allows you. We're now entering a stage in AEW where not everyone is going to be around. Like look at Mox wanting to take 6 weeks off and whatnot. You know, people get injured. They always have, because of all the people that they always have like an ace in the hole. And I was talking to Colin earlier. The next match is Jay Lethal, and Jay Lethal has found an incredible role for himself on the show, I think, because he gets to be on TV each week. Like he kind of hasn't been like on proper primetime television wrestling. And he's a vet that a ton of people know, and he is really good at his job. And he can just go out there and eat losses all day and make people look great. And they're also, all these people are beating someone who is credible. It's incredible. It's a perfect spot.
In terms of reliability, he is the inverse of someone like John Moxley, where they're like, John, all our shit's fucked up. You got to save us, you know?
Right.
And Jay is the guy where you can go, Jay, I need you every time you're there to have a great match with a guy and make them look good and lose.
Right. He's the guy.
No, I was just saying he's so good at selling. Like the way that he was taking some of those moves, and he really has such like incredible ring awareness. He doesn't ever look like he's thinking 4 steps ahead, which you can sometimes still see running through people's minds. Like the way he flows through everything and makes the other person shine. You're so right about that, Colin. It's so well done.
He's a master.
Yep.
OG Jay Lethal fan. I every time I pop for him huge. I don't need Satnam Singh there. Sanjay Dutt is like his BFF, I guess, or something. So I get that, but all I need is Jay Lethal. Just give me some. I'm like you said, Jordan. I just want more of this. So I'm glad to see him.
Yeah, I think. Well, like I think it's all about, finding a role. Like that guy's on TV every week. Like no one's complaining about him losing because he's doing a great God. Like who cares? He's out there. He's working.
Yeah.
That's all. True. That's at the end of the day. That's all anyone should be trying to do.
Very true.
Yep.
We love Jay Lethal.
We love Jay Lethal.
We're coming out of this match talking about Jay Lethal, not so much Jungle Boy, but like
that's true too. Yeah.
But that
and
conversation
he's the one who obviously got the L in it, so that's proves it.
That's proven. It's done. Science. It's over. Powerhouse Hobbs squash Matt DiMartino.
Poor kid.
Poor guy. Poor fella. Ricky got to make his grand return. Must not be too gnarly of an injury if that was how that ended up.
Did we miss Luigi's debut?
It's not in my recap, but that was a feel good. That was a feel good moment for me personally. It was just a quick little spot of the world's greatest pizza maker, Luigi Primo, getting killed.
Those clips,
they're the best.
They have been so damn good. I saw him in my feed a couple weeks back, and I was not familiar with everything going on. I just went through his page for like 10 minutes watching these videos. They're so well done.
You can't say it's not unique, you know?
It's incredibly unique.
Yeah.
It's the logical next step in like the Vinny Massaro universe of wrestling.
Yes.
Which I don't know if you know Vinny Massaro.
Do
but
actually.
His big spot is ordering a pizza to the ring and then eventually getting slammed into the pizza while he's trying to eat it. It's an unbelievable bit. All I want in the world is for those two guys to like have a feud and then become the best of friends. Like I want enemies that become a tag team with those guys.
Yeah.
Can you imagine storyline wise, like the shit that they could do, all of the gimmicky stuff they could do in ring? Like we need more of that, especially like as people who are in the helms of that just aren't doing it anymore, aren't here. And it's like there's a big open gap for that kind of stuff right now if you do it properly. And they are.
If you do it right on an indie show, that's what you walk away remembering. You're not like the work rate is like, damn, those guys in that match were really good. but the fucking pizza guy, did you see that? Like that's
exactly.
that's just how it goes.
The pizza guy tossed the dough one time and got kicked.
That's it.
And I made sure I don't even have it in front of me. I was like,
Everyone
"You
on
guys."
Earth was like, "Tell me more about the pizza guy." This is like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see Julia Hart's match on Dark recently, where she was wrestling Free Range Kara?
No.
Are you guys familiar with Free Range Kara?
No.
She looks like something out of Little House of the Prairie on the Prairie. And the universal
wow.
response was like, "Whoa, Julia's having a match. She's got a new song. She's got new gear. Holy shit! Who's Free Range Kara?"
Wait, I gotta see this.
You got to
though.
look up
This
Free
is
Range
like
Kara.
sounds great.
She's like a prairie home companion character, but a wrestler.
Yes,
I love
it's
it.
fantastic.
Ah,
Free Range
This
Kara.
is so good. Oh my goodness, head to toe, she has nailed it. Kara.
Free Range Kara.
Free Range
That's
Kara.
such a fucking funny name.
Her gimmick, her Twitter says born and raised in the country, the only wrestler certified by the USDA.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Good for her.
Good
See,
shit.
there we
That's
go.
good shit.
Now we're talking about it on a show. Good job, Free
Love
Range
it.
Kara.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ethan Page kicked the shit out of Luigi Primo and then challenged Danhausen to a match on Rampage. Glad to see Danhausen on TV, of course. He's gonna get murdered by Ethan Page probably, so that's sad. But you know, they'll both
Get
buy
that TV
action
time.
figures together a couple days later or something. You know, so
Yeah.
all is well.
Wrestling's funny, isn't it?
It's the best. There's nothing better than this.
Also, yeah, I do want. I think at a certain point, you gotta give Danhausen some big wins up in here. Like the Danhausen pop is trending.
It is.
You know,
Yeah.
like dude, what at what point is it just like you gotta really run with it?
Yeah, but like he's not the character doesn't depend on wins and losses, much like an Ethan Page character. If this
Totally.
guy was losing, I'm like, this character makes no sense if this guy loses all the time.
Totally.
No, because the whole thing's I'm a body guy, I'm gonna come in and do this and that. If you're losing all the time, you're a chump. Like, what's
Exactly.
the point? But with Danhausen, he's already so over. Like, that's the kind of dude who can fart in a jar and sell it online. It's gonna sell out within a day. You know
I
what
guarantee
I mean?
you he's done that or is planning to.
Like everything he does turns to gold. So you don't really have to put someone like that over until maybe it makes like perfect sense or potentially is just thrown into something for a title out of nowhere. And then
Yeah.
that's the biggest pop in his, like, you never know, but I think it's maybe for a reason because
Agreed.
they don't need to yet.
Agreed.
I don't know. These are the clip, the dark clip. Let me just say this. The loudest pop in AEW history is from a clip from Dark.
Well,
That's pretty insane.
but that also means it was before the show. So that was like one of the first things the house saw. So they were
Mhm.
ready to fucking explode.
Yeah, very true.
But even so,
Probably
well deserved for the modern day Road Warrior, Danhausen.
Danhausen, absolutely.
Up next, one of the last thing I expected to see on this show, Swerve in Our Glory versus Lucha Bros for the tag titles.
This was the one of the night for me.
This
where
was
I was
crazy.
Like, you have power versus agility. That was what it was all about. Like Penta and
Mhm.
Ray, they are known for having the craziest precision, hands down. They float when they do their aerial moves. They have the most seamless transitions. And as a tag team, like their combinations, the ones that you just wait for,
Oh my
are
God.
so good. And then just seeing the other boys like just being thrown around, it was such a cool duality throughout the whole match. I really enjoyed it.
I wish this was 30 minutes longer.
Yep.
You know?
It was unbelievable.
I feel like it was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And then it was
It went
over.
by so quickly.
It did.
Exactly.
It was sad. But still, I mean, some of the things that they did in this match will be gift for the rest of these four men's
Of
lives.
time.
The
Rest of
full
time.
on just darting Phoenix in to break up the pin.
Unbelievable.
The last cool Canadian destroyer that has yet to be done, you know,
A Canadian destroyer on Keith Lee.
onto a 400-pound, 500-pound man, you know,
Yeah, insane.
And
unbelievable.
the precision, so good.
It was unbelievable. I will say that I think a week out from the Death Triangle winning the trios titles, it's a strange decision.
I don't fully
me.
understand it, but maybe it's going
Yeah.
somewhere, you know?
To have them come out and lose a match for a different, like, it almost makes
It diminishes the
does
other one for sure.
that, like, or does it? Like, I don't know.
I
To
feel like
me,
it does.
reading it on paper, I'm like, I mean, that would diminish
One set of champions lost to the other set of champions. That means the other set of champions are less
Are
good
above-
or mean less.
That right.
Or it means they're better with the third guy. And then maybe that's the whole purpose, but
Out of all tag
great
teams,
match.
though, throw them for it. Right, great match. That's what it
Great.
comes
So
down
there
to,
you
I guess.
go. Maybe that's what it's about at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was a great match, but it's, it's I think it felt especially weird because of, it was vacated belts, and then they won the belts, and they had a lot more to prove than most newer champions. So it was just, the pressure felt higher on them, and it was like, listen, match was sick. It was always going to be sick.
Yeah.
It wasn't not going to be sick, but
It was incredible.
But maybe it wasn't the time to have neither of these teams could lose. And even by the end of it, it still feels like maybe they shouldn't have eaten an L right now.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we'll see where that's
totally with
going.
you.
We had Orange Cassidy attack Pac afterwards.
That punch, man. Why? Like, did you guys watch that actually happen? Like, how off?
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll cover it in the recap or something.
That was some good stuff. But that promo was super intense. And then I love how, like, Cassidy is always a man of few words. So the way that it leveled out the super, like, rage that was in Pac, I thought that was really neat as well. I liked that.
Him being a double champion, somebody's got to take that from him, because you don't need. It's cool that he's got both.
Before.
Yeah.
Like, I remember us talking about opportunities for Cassidy like a couple weeks back. So
Maybe
here
this
we
is
have
it. And then we have a feud brewing between Ethan Page and Orange Cassidy, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, because he's going after comedic wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, up Luigi.
That's
he's
a great
beat up Danhausen.
That's a great new little gimmick stinger for Ethan Page. Like, if you're funny, I'm gonna kick your ass. This isn't funny to me.
Yeah.
Love that.
Honestly, yeah.
I like that.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
Toni Storm and Athena versus Serena Deeb and Britt Baker.
I love that promo. Just how snippy and cheeky the entire thing was going into it. I enjoyed that for sure.
Yeah, that was
they were
good
on
stuff.
it.
Athena eats the pin after a pretty solid match.
No, Tony eats the pin.
Was it Tony? Oh, right.
Tony
after
ate
the
the
chair.
Yeah, the chair in the corner.
Fucking brutal. The
Rebel.
Boston
Why
single
should
leg
that be like
crab
that?
looked fucking brutal.
And the
Brutal,
DDT from the apron too on the side where she got both girls. That was pretty cool too.
Serena's incredible, just scientifically.
I mean, there's a reason she's back there like training everybody for however long she did, right? She's very skilled.
It's very true. This story is really interesting to me because, like, Jamie Hayter's not in the match, but she's involved. But then she's like, doesn't fully turn on Britt.
Right.
So I'm curious to see where this. Maybe her whole thing is like, I'm not with any of y'all. Fuck all y'all. I'm a lone wolf.
I'm game for that.
Who knows?
Just kind of how they're playing it, right? Especially with her just walking away, not being confrontational, just kind of giving the hand and everything. Maybe they'll have her set out next to do something solo rather than the whole team thing they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people want her in the Blackpool Combat Club.
It makes sense.
This was Jamie Hayter. Like, since All Out, people are.
She's training every day.
Every day. People wanted her to become Danhausen's tag team. Like, people want her to literally do anything. They just want Jamie Hayter on TV doing something.
I get it. I heard that.
Yeah, she's fucking badass.
She's incredible.
What
Yeah,
are you
she
gonna
rocks,
do?
man. She could whoop my ass for show. All right, Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson in this main event. What do we think?
first, I really hope you guys saw that little Fred Durst looking fucker in the front row. That little kid just singing his heart out to Judas with his cap. I was like, all right.
This was the
big
first
Limp
time
Bizkit vibes.
in history everybody they panned to was singing perfectly.
Oh, they were in it.
It was crazy. Normally there's a guy like, just while the words are going, and tonight it was like not a single mush mouth in sight, just perfect delivery.
They knew all the words, like to every single part. They knew verse 2.
Every syllable.
Nobody's ever heard verse 2, and they knew it.
I know.
It's crazy. Yeah. So that started off with a bang.
It really did. But for me, this match was just a master class of submissions.
Oh,
like that
so
whole
awesome.
The whole last like 5-6 minutes of it all. Like I've been in the walls of Jericho. Well, I've mostly been in the walls of my worsty. And those Boston crabs hurt. So the fact that he was doing that for that long and going from move to move and then seeing like Danielson reverse it
to
so
that worked foot. So it was like this move, he created a new meaning to this, because it was like that normally puts the pressure on the back, but he was gripping that foot so good.
Yeah.
That I was sitting here thinking like, yeah, that would hurt.
That's some good ring psychology.
Maybe he should tap, because I bet that hurts is what I was. But like Jericho, before he was the guy that we know him as, any of the personas that we know him as in AEW, he was the man of 1,004 holds. And I feel like we saw about 500 of them tonight. And that was really cool. And he in the scrum, he was talking about how Brian reminds me of wrestling guys like Dean Malenko and Chris Benoit, where you don't have to call anything. You go out there and you just know what the other guy can do, and you know what you want to do with them. And it really felt like that again tonight. This was I was checking out a little bit at points in the show. I was checking my phone, getting some snacks. This, I was like, my eyes were glued to the screen the whole time. Really cool finish. I liked this a lot.
I liked it too. I was ready to check back out again, because I hate a work the leg moment. Because
Love a work the leg.
It's my literal least favorite thing, because I'm like, all right, we're gonna be slow for 7 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, but that's where you get to see. That's what makes or breaks an actual good wrestler. And then you watch that limb for the rest of the match. And Brian did not put a fucking lick of pressure onto that thing.
No,
he was for 10 minutes after that. It was beautiful.
Totally. I was gonna say, like, this is what an example of like, oh yeah, no, this is a very good version of this.
Yeah.
Because I realize I'm used to WWE work the leg matches, which are a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Peter Griffin just there rocking, holding his knee. Like that's what those feel like. I hate Jordan. Like I can't stand 100%. Them.
Because it's straight up like, oh, my leg, and then the guy's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, it's just
leg.
a guy laying on the floor, like what, like the Triple H Seth match with the leg. Fuck off.
Yeah,
I'm literally. He's a jumping guy.
Yeah.
It's literally all I want to see that guy do.
I know.
This
was just two.
Make him not jump.
Don't stop the jumper.
No way, man. This was two submission geniuses.
Totally
presenting a thesis.
Oh.
And it was. I love this.
Dude,
I thought the finish
we give it a high percentage, a high grade for
A+.
Sure.
The light bulb, the shot of Chris Jericho when he realized,
so good.
Just him going, like, just a full cartoon.
He's like, I can kick his ass now.
Like,
it was great. Also, the finish.
So
I've never seen that transition before, ever. Of like,
no.
Okay, I'm in a figure 4. This guy is punching me. It felt like the end of Get Out when he's wrestling with the brother with the door.
What a weird.
And he keeps kicking the door closed, and he's watching him do it, and then the 5th time he knows he's gonna do it, so he stabs him in the leg.
Right.
That was what happened. He's like, oh, sorry. He's like,
no, I've seen it.
He's in the figure 4, keeps getting punched, so he knows that, like, okay, he's gonna punch me again if I try this, and it takes that beautiful. This was like, oh god, I was drooling, but when he grabbed that arm and turned that in the crossface, I was
because I love when wrestling makes sense. There's so many matches where someone literally just got like clocked in the head. I'm talking a full fist to the skull, and they're still completely fine, you know? And
In
like,
no
I can't
scenario in real
stand that.
life.
Would you ever be okay? So the fact that in this match they just played so true to their strengths, whether the submissions, the sells, everything in between, like the transitions, like it was money. It was so fun to watch. You're never thinking, oh no, am I gonna be bored? Like they had you gripped the whole time. And there were only 2 matches this whole night that did that for me. So I'm glad that this is one of them.
And you know, they're the well, did you not feel that way for the opener as much?
Not as much for me. Like the hottest ones were the Swerve match and then this one. Like those 2 for me, then Lucha Bros of the night.
I got you.
I got to give a shout out to Mox getting chopped by Sammy, falling on the floor, pretending to nap, and getting back up.
Yeah, that was good.
An all-time.
It was like, hey, everybody fucking hates this guy, so I'm gonna do something
I'm gonna
to
fuck with him.
acknowledge
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Why not?
It was so smooth
Clever.
and so fast
Yeah.
and perfect.
Oh, I enjoyed it, but just like
Yeah.
you
It
know.
was. I mean, there were shenanigans, and it was a 10-minute match. It wasn't. It wasn't didn't feel like the main event like this did, and that's fine.
Nor was it supposed to be,
Exactly.
though, you know?
Exactly.
This entire show did a beautiful job as a go-home show for a next show that feels like a pay-per-view, you know?
Yep.
And you're going there.
That's
Sure
true.
am.
They didn't
So
leave.
jealous.
They didn't leave us with any questions. You know exactly what's up. I feel like they're kind of putting that bow on the end, and next week we get to kind of unravel it all. So it was set up really well.
Hell yeah.
And there we go. And that's
Hell
our show,
yeah.
guys.
That's our show,
That's
folks.
Knotfest Wrestling.
Join us next Monday. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled time next Monday, and we will finally. It's been 2 weeks. We are gonna give Hangman Page new music.
Oh, okay.
Hey, all right.
All right.
We're doing that on Monday. Everybody ready?
Yeah, I'm so ready to give him Cotton Eye Joe. Thank you so much for watching. This is Cotton Eye Knotfest Wrestling. We will see you Monday. Bye.